Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Should You Pull banner review video. The Halloween banner just dropped and it features a lot of unique units. I'm going to review each of these heroes to help you guys understand these heroes a little bit better. At the end, I'll tell you guys my opinion on which ones you should summon for and my thoughts on the banner as a whole. We're going to go in order by color: red, blue, green, then colorless. First hero is Nowi. She is our first red tone flyer, and at max level her stats are 34 HP, 34 attack, 32 speed, 20 defense, and 27 resistance. She also has similar BST as the other two mage flyers, Summer Corin and Spring Camillas, so there's no inflated stats here. A lot of people, including myself, thought that she was receiving extra stats because she comes out of the box with 5 skills. We were wrong, but I guess 5 skills will become the norm now. Anyways, her stats did not meet my expectations, but I can see why her stats are the way they are. She's a flyer class, therefore this is still a powerful stat line if we are taking into account Fire Emblem buffs and upgradable sacred seals. As a standalone hero, her stat line isn't anything special. Her offensive stats are similar to Arvis's, except she has 1 more speed. Or you can think of it like Katarina's with the attack and speed swapped, which is worse in this case because I'd rather have more speed than attack. Defense obviously is trash and magical bulk isn't the best, but it's just okay. I don't think she can tank much besides green mages and a very few red mages. Her unique weapon is Grimoire. If unit has equal or greater than 50% HP, then now we can move to a space adjacent to an ally within 2 spaces. So if you have any experience with Alencia's B skill, Flyer Formations 2, it's quite similar to that. The big difference between the two is that Flyer Formation restricts the user from teleporting to anybody besides a flyer ally. Grimoire, on the other hand, allows the user to teleport to any ally. I summoned Nowi, so I was able to play around with it. It's a pretty fun little gimmick. It actually works really well with her other skills, and we'll talk more about that when we get there. Anything that does anything with teleporting next to allies are really great for defensive teams. During an arena season, it's almost guaranteed to catch at least one guy off guard, and that's all you need in order to get your defensive rewards at the end of the season. Assist is reposition. It's the best positioning assist in the game, and it's even better for flyers, especially Nowi. With Grimoire, she can teleport to allies and either reposition them out of danger or forward so they can get in range. New A skill is attack res bond 3, grants attack and res by 5 during combat if unit is adjacent to an ally. So this skill also works great with her weapon Grimoire. She can teleport next to an ally and receive the extra stats when she attacks. Now, is it good on Nowi? It depends on how you want to use her. Not the best skill if you want Nowi to become a offensive player face oriented unit. Even with home flyer buff, she will still need more speed to become a good offensive unit. If you plan to fire Nowi off for this skill, then good candidates are mage tanks. Some examples are Innes, Henry, and simply just any other mage with high resistance. B skills live for bounty. This is originally on Spring Camilla. More shards is kind of like whatever, but I won't be surprised if the game receives a new weekly map where we can farm shards and crystals. Gacha games always have those kind of farming maps, so if Fire Emblem Heroes ever implements one of those maps, then this skill is a must get. Home Flyers is her C skill, so it's kind of wonky because she won't be receiving the buffs from Home Flyers. She really needs the speed buff to be a good offensive unit. However, this does make sense in regards to her base kit. Her base kit promotes a supportive and defensive type of playstyle. Most of the time she's just going to be used to one-shot greens, finish off other colored enemies, or used as mage bait on the enemy phase. So having home flyers on her and receiving defensive buffs from fortified flyers does make sense. She's going to be sticking real tight together with other flyers anyways. Technically, she can still receive speed buffs that's not from a second home flyers. You can run home flyers on Nowi, fortified flyers on another, and then 2 gold flyers. Even though Nowi did meet my expectations in terms of stats, she's still a very solid unit. Her being a flyer tone red mage is one big reason you should consider summoning for her. If you have Alencia, then you really don't need Nowi. Red mages are the worst colored mages in this current meta, but if you don't have that many flyer units and you're basically forced to run 2 red flyers, then fine. Nothing you can do much about that. Best IVs for her are going to be plus attack or speed, but mostly speed. Her physical bulk is already low due to her low defense and low HP, so a Bane in defense won't change much. I'm grading her offensive power as a B+, physical bulk is C, magical bulk is around a B+ as well because of attack res bond. Next up is our first armored mage. We all thought it was going to be Arvis, but nope, it's Henry. He's a green mage, and at max level he has 36 HP, 33 attack, 34 speed, 26 defense, 36 6 resistance, and 165 BST. This guy is tied with Amelia and Black Knight for most neutral speed among armored units. He also has the highest resistance out of the entire cast of heroes at 36. For an armor unit, his physical buck is quite low, only 26 defense and 36 HP. Overall, his stats are really nice. He has the offensive stats to run offensive tomes. He also has the defensive stats to run Raven or Owl tomes. Don't dwell too much on low defense because the best team to put him in is of course an Armor Emblem team where he can receive a bunch of defensive buffs from multiple ward armors. Weapon and Spectral Tome Plus after combat bonuses become penalties on all foes within 2 spaces through foe's next action. Without Armor March, I think this weapon is not that good on Henry. The Panic Smoke effect is really nice, but this weapon needs to be used on a unit that is able to reach the enemy team while they are clumped up. Armored units aren't mobile enough to do that without Armor March. Instead, they like to turtle and wait for the enemy to initiate on them. In that case, if you use Henry to bait a mage or something, that mage won't have anyone in range to be debuffed by this weapon. I'm not saying it's a bad tome, it's just not good on armor units without Armor March. Special is Reprisal. This effect is based on missing health from the user. Henry has low HP, so this skill isn't good on him. It's as simple as that. Live for Honor. Springzander was the original holder of this skill, and for the longest time it was pretty useless. Now it's actually very useful because of the new Sacred Seal Forge. A great skill to have to farm badges with. Armor March. This is exactly what armor teams needed, more ways to get Armor March. Too bad it's on a limited edition unit though. Nonetheless, this skill is great. The user and adjacent allies can move 2 spaces. If you didn't know, they are able to move 2 spaces through 4 styles. Henry is a great replacement for Sheena. Armor Emblem teams needed Sheena there in order to bait and kill guys like Reinhardt. With the new deflect seals, it became more manageable. You can just give deflect magic's 3 seal to Hector and he'll be able to tank Reinhardt. But still, Sheena is still the most tankiest all-around armor unit. So instead of Sheena, now you can use Henry, and he can not only tank and kill Reinhardt, but he'll bring more offensive presence to the team. Best IVs for him is kind of tough. His best boon is definitely plus attack, but I don't think you can go wrong with any of them, even HP. He gets a +4 boost in that. However, his most disposable stat is still his HP, so he can retain his defense and resistance stats. I actually wouldn't mind having a neutral Henry either, to be honest. As for the unit rating, I'm giving him an A for offense because 33-34 is a great offensive stat spread, especially with boons in any of those 2 stats. Physical bulk is average. Despite having low HP, his defense is okay because he has enough speed to prevent doubles. Lastly, his magical bulk is top notch, so an obvious A there. Next is Jakob, our first armored archer. I don't think anybody expected this. At max level, he has 42 HP, 35 attack, 23 speed, 33 defense, and 32 resistance with 165 BST. His stat line slightly resembles the other armored units, unlike Henry's. Everything is solid down the line besides speed, of course. He's almost like Sheena with higher attack, but with slightly less bulk, which is okay with me considering that he is a ranged unit. The problem with archers are the selection of bow weapons. Henry has a lot of tools that he can play around with, not so much with Jakob. He's limited to about 2 of them, I think. It's either Brave Bow or Slaying Bow. I don't think Monstrous Bow is good on him for the same reason I talked about earlier when I reviewed Henry's weapon. Special is Ignis, which is perfect. There's some builds which I think Bonfire is preferred, but I'll talk more about that in another video. Wink wink. Brace Blow 2 grants defense and resistance +3 when the unit initiates combat. I think warding armor is like one of the most useless skills in game. Armor Blow is alright, but then you got this, which is half and half. It's just not good at all, especially not on Jakob. Soul armors work best on the enemy phase, not on the player phase. B skill is Warrior Fighter, a great skill for slow arming units like Jakob. His weakest stat is speed, therefore he's guaranteed to get doubled by almost everybody. Warrior Fighter will prevent doubles unless the enemy has Bowbreaker or Brash Assault seal equipped. So Jakob is another great addition to the Armor Emblem family. Everyone is crazy about Henry. I think Jakob is actually the best unit in the banner if you care about armored units. Colorless units have no weakness besides Raven Tome mages. All the other weaknesses that Jakob has can be patched up with skills, seals, and buffs. With the right build and units surrounding him, Jakob is a very powerful individual. The main boon he wants is attack. Defense and resistance are fine too. Just make sure you don't get plus speed. That being said, minus speed is his most disposable stat, and since the unit is based on default set and stats, I'm giving him a B for offense, A for both physical and magical bulk, mainly because of Warrior Fighter. Last unit is Sakura. At max level, she has 33 HP, 32 attack, 34 speed, 14 defense, and 34 resistance. I was hoping she had boosted stats, but unfortunately it's the same as Felicia. She's basically Kagura with attack and speed flipped, or maybe the best comparison is Gaius. He has more speed speed with less attack, but if we take into account boons and stuff, then I think these two heroes will come out with similar results. What Sakura can do that guys cannot do is tank magical units. She has the second most resistance among dagger units, just one below Felicia. If you were curious, Sakura with Distant Defense 3 Sacred Seal is able to survive an engagement from the strongest version of Reinhardt that's plus 10 merge with Moonbow, Quick Impulse, and buffs. And because she can do that, I believe she is better than Felicia because Sakura is more of a threat on the player phase. However, it's still better to build Felicia because she's easier to summon and merge. Sakura is limited edition, so you cannot get her to plus 10 unless you are a whale. Weapon is Kitty Paddle, 8 might and effective against magic, which are the 3 tomes, blue, green, and red. It also has the -7 defense and resistance debuff as well, just like most of the other daggers, except it only works versus magic enemies. Magic enemies include red, blue, and green tome units of all movement types. It does not include Dragonstone or healers. So I looked into this weapon for quite a while. I think there's only 3 good users for this weapon, and all of them are mage tanks. They are Olivia, Sakura, and Felicia. It doesn't matter what weapons they have because they can tank and kill Reinhardt if they have the right special equipped. The only difference it makes is that Sakura or Felicia can run 4-charge specials like Glacies and still be able to bait and kill Reinhardt off without using up the special, which means that they can use it on someone else during the following player phase. This weapon also gives Felicia more things to do on the player phase other than hitting for double zeros just to build up the special charge. Glacies is her special. I touched on it just a little bit just now. The timing is perfect in the Reinhardt matchup, but gets a little wonky for normal mages. Warding Stance 3 is her A skill, grants 6 resistance during combat when this unit is attacked. The big difference between this and Distant Defense, besides the fact that it doesn't work against physical range enemies, is that it also gives Sakura extra resistance when she is attacked by Dragonstone. I mean, this skill is all she needs. She's a mage tank and her defense stat sucks. Guard 3 is her B skill, the best B skill for mage tanks to prevent Reinhardt from activating their moonbows. That's honestly the main reason why mage tanks run this skill. Dagger Veiler 3 is her C skill. Get Sakura just for this. Veiler skills are all useful. Even if you don't use any dagger units right now, it could come in handy in the future. Maybe Intelligent Systems will revamp the class one day or release a OP dagger unit. I don't know. Sakura initially was at the top of my priority list for this banner because I didn't really care about armoring units, nor did I care about Nowi because I already have a merged Valencia. But after I found out that her stats weren't boosted, she's just another dagger unit to me. I'm gonna say get her for Dagger Veiler and then bounce. Kagero and Olivia are still the best 2 dagger units in the game, while Felicia is the better rest tank to use because she is easily summonable and it's easier to get her merge levels up. I mean, Sakura is still a very good unit, but not a must-have unit. The best boon for her is either attack, speed, or res. The best bane is her defense. It's definitely her worst stat. Plus B for offense, C for physical bulk, and A for magical bulk. Alright, let me give you guys my opinion on this banner. We are at the point where you have to really manage your free-to-play ores better. I honestly think you should skip this banner. With Christmas, New Year's, and first anniversary around the corner, I believe Intelligent Systems will release a better army unit and a better flyer unit. And besides, seasonal units to me aren't worth summoning for unless you want to use them as fodder or just for collection purposes. I think the main goal for every hero in this game is to plus 10 merge them. You aren't going to be able to do that with the seasonal units because they are limited edition unless you are a whale. But if you really want to pool for them, then I can't really say which one is better than the other because they fill in different missing pieces for emblem teams aside from Sakura. I think Jakob is better than Henry, but you can't go wrong with either one. Sakura is solid, but I think she's the worst in the banner. I'll say Jakob, Henry, Nowi, then Sakura in that order. All of these units in this banner are great. There's not really a bad one, and I don't see Intelligent Systems releasing a bad banner anytime soon. It's a gacha game. You should expect a good banner every time a new one is out. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.